One time I got caught speeding twice in one day. Now, it's a bit of a bad boy move, I know, but it wasn't intentional.
Hello and welcome back to, I think this is going to be episode 4 of Chats with me, Adam Roberts. Today we have a very, very special guest and a close friend to mine. I'm trying to think of an intro now, I should have really thought of one. So this is Cumbria and soon to be the UK's biggest clothing brand owner. You've probably seen his posts all over my social media and all over social media in general. And this is Jonny Lawson?
Yes, I'm Jonny Lawson. How are you all doing? Happy Sunday.
Yeah, happy Sunday. So yeah, we're recording this. I don't even know what the date is. My Sunday. Nice scenic background. Back once again. So we're going to be focusing on clothing brands, how to set one up, and like the struggles and realities of what it's been like. But the way I want to start things off from moving forward now is 3 fun facts about yourself. So basically, I think on the last one with Luke, right, we talked about like dating apps and Tinder chat-up lines and dating app chat-up lines. And mine's like you transition from asking about dogs to 3 fun facts about themselves. So I'm not trying to chat you up, or maybe I am. But go on, tell the viewers and the listeners 3 facts about yourself.
3 facts about myself, right? So one time I got caught speeding twice in one day. Now, it's a bit of a bad boy move, I know, but it wasn't intentional. Number 2 is I'm very determined about anything I do, whether it's work or the brand, anything in life, relationship status, anything like that. And I am very confident in myself with, again, my relationship status, my business, my job, anything I've ever done. I always put 100% into it and try and get the best outcome as I possibly can.
We'll pretend like he hasn't rehearsed them, so it's fine. So the first thing I want to ask is, tell us about the speeding then. So you got caught speeding twice in one day. How fast were you going an hour?
So I was going to Scotland to play golf with my uncle this day, and I was doing about 84, 85 miles an hour, and a camera van caught me on the bridge, and I thought I'd slowed down enough to not get caught, so I thought nothing of it. And I was coming back from Scotland in the same day, from the same golf course, and there was a police van car on the side of the hard shoulder. I was overtaking and I was doing 94 miles an hour, and they pulled me over and brought me a ticket there and then, and obviously that was it. I got caught. Very luckily I wasn't doing over 100, otherwise it would have been an instant ban and I would have lost my licence. Yeah, 100%. Scotland's really strict with it, so anyone going to Scotland, please do not speed. Do not make my mistakes.
Learn from his mistakes. But do you have a bit of a speed, do you? I got caught.
To be fair, yeah, I'm not going to go into too much detail about any more, but yeah, let's just say if I had a racing car, I'd have probably won a few championships. But that's about it on the speeding front.
That's so funny. To be fair, fun fact about myself is I got caught doing 35 and a 30 the other day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm pretty much...
You've probably still got done for that, I would have thought as well, actually.
Yeah, I did. I had to do a speed awareness course. So the second one, you said you're very determined of what you do in like relationships with business. Have you got like any examples?
Yeah, so for instance, in my business, I was determined I wanted to start it up because I'd seen other people on Instagram and Facebook posting stuff like that. And I'd always wanted to do it. And I thought, well, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. Mm-hmm. So I was determined to find a right way of doing it, the social media. And once I'd figured it out, that was when I made a start. And I just, jumped in 2 feet and just went for it. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes you've got to take chances in life. If you don't, then you're not going to get anywhere. So for me, if you are willing or you are wanting to do something, whether it's a clothing brand, selling trainers online or selling cars, whatever it is, try your hardest to give it a go. If you don't give it a go, you'll never try. You'll never know. You'll never succeed. Mm-hmm. So please just have a look. Like look into it, all the information you possibly can. Even ask people who are in that kind of situation, whether they're doing clothing brand or, for instance, selling cars. If you know a car salesman, go and ask them about it. Just if whatever it is in life you want to do, go out and do it. And that's why I'm determined to try and make a successful business out of it, because I want to be proud of myself that I've done something and not just been sat at home and be like, oh, in 10 years, 15 years time, like, oh, I wish I'd done this. I wish I'd done that. Yeah. I always think if you're going to give it a go, give it a go. Even if you don't succeed, you can turn around to people and say, you gave it a go. Because you don't want to be one of those people that people like, oh, well, he just sits at home, does nothing. He's not very determined to do anything. He doesn't really want a better life, or he's quite happy just plodding on. That's not me. I'm not that type of person, really. So do it. Give it a go. If you succeed, great. If not, try again.
That's we're getting in pretty deep pretty soon here. Oh, bloody hell. And then the final thing that we'll go over is you said you're a confident person. So obviously you mentioned you're determined in like business in that sense. So you're a confident person. You mentioned about relationships. Can you give us like an example of how you've been confident in relationships, even in your current one?
Yeah,
or in
definitely.
Past one, even when you were a bit of a scallywag when you were younger.
Maybe one as such of a scallywag, I'd say, but I was all young lads and everyone out there, they've been there, they've done stuff, and I've no regrets about anything, but confidence in a way in that the girl that I'm with now, my fiance actually, who we're having a baby together.
Congrats.
Thank you very much. I had the confidence to just go talk to her. Some people kind of don't have confidence to go and speak to people, and I'm quite a confident person. I'll speak to anyone, whether it's someone I don't know that I've never met before, that I've been introduced to by either yourself, Adam, or by my girlfriend, or by family members that I've never met before. I'm very confident in speaking in front of people, and I never shy away. So I take that into myself, again, into my own business and in life. Just be confident about what you do.
Because you have always been confident, like you say, when relating it to say relationships in this example, but like you say back in the day that you would just go up to like whoever, just to have a chat to them, just see what the crack is. And stuff like that.
At the end of the day, the worst they could turn around and say is, I'm not interested in talking to you. And that's it. It doesn't really hurt your ego or anything like that, because...
Well, some people it does though, I feel like.
To be fair, some people are a bit, oh my God, I can't believe it. What do I do now? They shy away and then they don't want to talk to people again. Yeah. So what? They've never...
It's a numbers game.
You would know about that,
mate. Well... So that's how I think we're going to start this podcast from now on, is like free facts, just to get a bit to know about the guests, get to know about Jonny. So, and like we've done in the previous podcast as well, is we're going to take you on a bit of a journey, go back to when we were little tiny babies, and when our first like kind of entrepreneurial venture was, whether that was, I don't know, selling lemonade or selling sweets, or that's like the standard one. But like, can you remember, say when you were like small, like what your first like entrepreneurial like venture was when you were a kid?
Not when I was small, it was more when I hit probably secondary school.
Okay.
I seen kind of kids, lads my age, maybe 13, 14, the standards, going to the shops and buying bottles of Lucozade or bags of crisps or bags of Polos or stuff like that. And I thought, you know what, I'll give that a little go myself. Buy maybe 30 packets of Polos or a few bottles of Lucozade and just sell them for £2 or £3 each or whatever like that, and get people interested. And then as I kind of left school, it was more of, I wanted to find a job, and I never really thought about a business again after that, or even sell anything like that. It was more, go out and work and make money for yourself to then buy the nice products in life, because that's what you want. Obviously, you want the nice shoes, the clothes, the cars eventually. So that was kind of the first stage of it, but then it kind of died right out, and it was more of a case of, right, go and find a job and work.
So at school then, so you said you saw like your mates or some of the people selling like sweets and drinks and stuff at school. What, like, can you remember like what made you want to do that as well? Were you like very money driven, or was it just like to be like seen as cool, or what?
I think it was a bit of both, really. A bit of being cool, because you wanted to fit in with everyone. You didn't want to be like that kid that stood in the corner and, you know, had his rucksack right up to the back of his neck. And he was
definitely me.
A puppet nerd or anything like that. And I've nothing against them type of people, but
you bunch of nerds. You want
to kind of fit in more, I think, because people are doing it, and you think, oh well, if they could do it, I could do it. Make a little bit of money on the side. Then when you go out with your pals on a Saturday afternoon after school's finished on Friday, you got the cinema, or you're going to town or something. You're just going out for a knockabout or something like that. You just want to have something in your pocket after seeing other people do it, and it kind of gives you that momentum to do it again further on in life. But for me, like I say, it kind of lasted in school for about maybe a couple of months, and then died down after that, really.
Yeah, you made your money and then on to bigger and better things. So like for you, for school, maybe like backtrack slightly, but like, can you remember much of like primary school and what you kind of got up to there, or was it just like so long ago you can't remember?
I am 31 if anybody wants to know how old I am, so that's why he's referring to such a long time ago. No, but I suppose primary school for me was kind of just a place where you're a young kid, you're just playing with your friends, playing the playground, tag, football, whatever it is, until you get to secondary school, when you start realising what life is a little bit more of. You're getting older, you see things more, you see stuff on the TV, you see stuff when you're out with your pals. But primary school for me was just a case of, you're just a kid, just enjoy.
Just do your work.
Just do your work and
play about
do your work and play, and that was it. And forget about anything else,
mind
really. Mind your own business, really. That's
cool. So then, did you play like many sports or anything like that when you were at primary school? Or?
Yeah, when I was at primary, I played for a football team called North Bank, who were at the time they still are really, even the adult teams now, they're a really popular team. So winning quite a lot of stuff. So I played for them for quite a long time, and then took that on to my secondary school. days. But football was probably my main sport more than anything else. I always liked golf, and I never really played it as much as a kid. I wish I had done now, if I'm honest. I really wish I'd stuck in at golf, because I really like that more than anything else. But as far as rugby or tennis or anything like that, cricket, no, it wasn't really my scene, to be honest. It was more just football. I think every young lad's dream was to be a footballer at one point.
100%,
you know, be a footballer,
still is.
make some money and all live a high lifestyle. But those days didn't come.
Yeah. So obviously, like you said, just kind of like cruise through primary school, just like chilling. And so then when you went to secondary school, apart from like selling all the sweets and stuff, like, did you enjoy secondary school? Did you feel like you fit in? Did you enjoy school? Was it more like a social thing, or what?
For me, I think school was more of a social thing. I'm not academically clever.
No.
The only subject I got a good grade in was German, speaking German. And to be quite honest, I cannot speak it still now. Wie ist dein Name? Bit of German there.
There you go.
That was it. I'd never done well in any other subject, which I do regret it. I do regret when it came to my GCSEs, and I wish I'd stuck in more. I never revised any subject, and I kind of wish I did now, because it would have probably helped me more with the life as I got out of school, with more jobs or current jobs or anything like that. But
you mean the grades specifically?
Yeah,
you wish you tried harder to get better.
Yeah, I
grades.
wish I'd kind of got better grades in all the basic English, math, science, maybe even history. I like a bit of history, but no, I mean, school for me was, I'll be honest, I was very much of an in-betweener. Yeah, like you see the TV program, I was very much one of those type of kids.
Which one were you?
Probably Neil.
Yeah. So people, if you haven't actually seen In-Betweeners, In-Betweeners is a very, well, I feel like it's not old. But
it's
like,
not old.
It's probably for the younger generation.
It's very relatable to people though, like that are my age, maybe our age, who didn't fit in as much, but they had their own little group of friends. They did stuff. They got into trouble every now and again.
It was basically 4 people. Some people might be like too young to remember. So like, it's a show that probably wouldn't be aired now, because it was like some of the stuff.
It was very good. To be honest, I loved it.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's just equality. It's like 4 of them. Will, who's like the main character, he's a bit of a nerd and a geek, isn't he? From like a posh school coming to a normal school, and then Jay, who's just like the lad who chats shit about everything.
He's the biggest bullshit.
And then you have Simon. How do you describe Simon?
Simon thinks he's the ladies' man.
Yeah.
Because he gets into trouble with the ladies a bit, but never actually like follows through. Follows through with anything.
He's kind of like he's not very confident in himself, is he? But he really likes. He's in love with that car, and he's in love with this one girl. And then Neil. How do you describe Neil?
Neil's just like Neil's like a Labrador. Just likes to be outside, just running around. Doesn't care. He doesn't care about life really. Just the reference to a film where he says it's DOG. Backwards, the reference to God. It's like once he realised it wasn't real, he just stopped forgetting about things and just live life and get on with it.
That's so funny. So how do you relate yourself to the Neil?
I think because I got to a point where like I was at school, I wasn't really fussed about it, so I just got on with it. I had to go every day, Monday to Friday, just do your thing and come home and then go out with your mates and just not let things worry you. As I got older, stuff started to, as you get older, you start to worry a little bit, but as you like your teenage years and that, the teenage years for a reason.
Enjoy them.
You enjoy them, and even you get early 20s, just go out and enjoy it. But I think for me, it was more a case of like Neil. It was a case of just go and have fun and just not let things bother you or worry you. Yeah, because there's no need to at such a young age. Yeah, really.
Because I think, especially at school, isn't it? It's when like people kind of come into their own and find who they are as themselves, because you're just kind of like trying to figure out who you are as a person, aren't you? Because you don't really know. You want to fit in. You want to be seen as like a cool kid, but really you're just like, who the fuck am I?
But sometimes if you try and fit in, people realise that's not who you are. Yeah. And if you are trying to be someone you're not, people notice that and they will tell you. Like, that's not you. If you want to try and be like the coolest kid, but you're not, people will say, you don't fit in.
Yeah, kids are brutal, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. That's the thing, that kids are brutal. And you've just got to find out who you are before you let people know that. Yeah. Because if you try and be something different, people will call you out on it. And then you have to think, well, why am I not that? Whereas if you try and just take every day as it comes and figure out what you want to do and who you are as a person, show people that, they then kind of take to that instead of you trying to be something you're not.
Yeah. I think that's a very valid point. And like, I think it's easier saying that now, looking back.
You just want to be that person. I've knocked about with lads who were quite cooler than me and quite popular. And I was in that group, but you were in the back of that group because you didn't maybe have the crack, you maybe didn't have the personality or anything like that, but people did. Yeah.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? I think for me personally, like I was quite lucky in the sense that whatever I wanted to do, I'd just do it and wouldn't really care what people thought. if you know what I mean. But obviously I still cared what like people thought about me, but like if I wanted to do something, I'd do it and I wouldn't really give a fuck. I'm quite lucky that I kind of like transition that now today. But so you said like at school, you obviously you're slight in between or whatever, you in like with the cool kids, you weren't really all the crap. So what kind of stuff did you do in your free time then?
Out of school was mainly like football stuff. I wasn't one of these kids that went to the park and drank a 5-litre gallon of cider.
Frosty Jacks and
I didn't do that. That was never me. I'd never done that, and I don't regret never doing it. That wasn't me. I didn't see the point of it. You know, eventually I'm going to get to 18, I can go out or whatever. So I didn't see the point in sitting in the park. Yeah, you with your pals and stuff, but it didn't really appeal to me.
Yeah,
I was more into playing into football or like computer games at the time.
Yeah,
so
I was quite big into that.
That stuff never really kind of bothered me. And when you hear people do it, it was like, oh well, yeah, great. You went out and done it, and you got drunk, but you know,
that's quite good, isn't it? Because I feel like a lot of kids as well will give into peer pressure.
Yeah,
like they just do it to like.
I think that's what the problem is nowadays with young girls and boys. If they don't do it, they get frowned upon. It gets frowned upon, and they get told, they get bullied. Or why do you not do it? Come on, just do it, and then they can end up in trouble, or it ends up worse for them than it should be. So people shouldn't look at it like that. They should just look at it as a case of, if you want to do it, do it. If you don't. And if then people who don't do it shouldn't be kicked to the curb or, you know, pushed aside because they don't want to do it. They just don't think it's for them. So, you know. Yeah.
So like at school, I think it'd be interesting for me, right? Because I've got one who works at a school. Well, that's a school I went to sixth form at. And I asked him sometimes, not to be weird, but like, what do like kids do and stuff? Because obviously, like, I'm big on social media, that's like my job and stuff. And I say like, oh, what do they do on the phones? And they're like really big on TikTok, which is understandable because obviously that's like a massive app at the moment. But I would find it interesting to see like, well, he says that they want to be like YouTubers and that kind of thing. Yeah. I'd be really interested to see like, go back, like say 10 years and be in like a class and see what like people wanted to do as a job. Because say like for me, and you said earlier, it's like you wanted to be a footballer, didn't you? Because that was a cool thing to do. And like now, people want to be YouTubers, don't they? Or like social media influencers and stuff. So I'd be interested to see like if there was more social pressure, should I say, of like to set your own business up, to be like an entrepreneur or be an influencer or be a YouTuber or whatever that is. Whereas I feel like for us, like we just kind of like did our own thing because there wasn't any of that. We weren't exposed to all this kind of like grind mentality.
Yeah, it wasn't big then, was it? Social media.
You have to do it like when we were at school. Yeah. I feel like, especially now that people, I think you should always try to do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? And if it doesn't work, like it's great, but as long as you give it like a good chance and a decent amount of time, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I feel like people these days just want instant results.
Oh yeah, they want the instant money, the instant results, instant popularity, the followers on TikTok, the followers on Instagram, or whatever it is. They're just looking for that next big thing. And I think some people get too obsessed with it. Whereas like when I was younger, it was a case of like social media wasn't big for us. No. So there was no YouTube videos, no TikTok, no Instagram. So we couldn't post our day-to-day life on social media for people to get likes or comments or, you know, shares, whatever. Whereas now it is the in thing at the minute. Yeah. And I think some people do become obsessed with it.
Yeah, I'll definitely 100%. Because for me, like you say that you say like soul sweets at school, which is like what people normally do, you know what I mean? But you didn't feel like any social pressure, or you weren't really like interested in say like doing your business thing until later on in life. Whereas I'd be interested to know and maybe do some like interviews with some like younger kids and see like if they feel like they have to work for themselves, they have to set up their own business, they don't want to get a job and that kind of shit. Yeah. Because like for you, your journey is just like pretty normal, you know what I mean? You just went to school, chilled out with your mates, and like, sold a few sweets at school,
done whatever you wanted to do,
your business, and just had fun, you know what I mean? Whereas I feel like, I don't know, but I feel like kids these days might not have as much fun. They might say want to set their own business and that kind of thing, which I think is good. I think they should try it. Like they do loads of Twitch streams and stuff like that. It's great. But they should do it because they want to do it, you know what I mean? Like for me, I said to you before, like my first things that I was doing was like making paper phones, selling them at school, like drawing footballers, selling them at school, selling the old beat bullying wristbands and stuff when I was at primary school. Like nobody was pressuring me into doing it. I was just doing it for the crack, selling it for like 2 and 5p and stuff, making fucking bank and that. Whereas these days I feel like people might do it just to fit in and be cool and stuff. But yeah, so I kind of went off on a bit of a tangent there, but like, Did you go to sixth form or anything?
No, I never did sixth form. I went straight into an apprenticeship. Well, actually, through school holidays, right up until I left school, I worked in a garage. So I always wanted to be a mechanic, kind of following to my uncle's footsteps. He was a mechanic for a racing team that were based out in Longtown, and kind of cars were my little. At that time, when I was kind of getting to the end of the school, end of secondary school, cars were like, oh yeah, big, buy their Max Power magazines and try and say to yourself, when you get a car, you're going to do it up like one of the magazines and, you know, be fast and blah, blah, blah. So I went from school holidays into an apprenticeship when I was 16. And I think I got that purely based on the fact I had been doing it in my school holidays and I had the experience. I think that's what worked in my favour because I didn't get the grades that I probably should have done, which would have probably got me the job straight away.
Yeah.
But the experience I had in the school holidays definitely gave me that step and that edge over anyone else that applied for the job.
Yeah. So for you, so like cars and stuff, you said you were kind of like into them at the end of school. Was that like year 10, year 11? So like 14, 15, 16?
Yeah, like 11, probably year 11 when I was 15, 16. Probably early year 10 as well, or mid to late year 10.
Yeah.
Because then the whole business side wasn't even relevant at that point. I never even thought about it.
Yeah.
Again, after the whole selling the school suites, you know, like we've said already. It was never, ever, and it never entered my mind again. It was a case of, right, you like cars, do something that involves cars, whether it's apprenticeship or whether it's selling cars, whatever it is, or cleaning cars. So once I got my apprenticeship, that was kind of my focus, was just sticking at a job, making some money, and then just having a life after that.
So was the only reason you didn't do like sixth form and further education because you didn't get the grades, or was that because you really wanted to go into that apprenticeship and do cars?
A bit of both, really. I think it was definitely a bit of both. The grades probably does tip it in their favour because I didn't get the grades I wanted to.
Yeah.
But again, that was my own doing. I should have stuck in 100% more than what I did.
Sticking kids.
But yeah, I think if I'd got the grades, I would have maybe give sixth form a go, because I know people who went to uni. I know you went to uni, Adz, and I know everyone like, oh, the whole uni cracking, it's go on, get drunk, and you do this and you do that every weekend and stuff like that. And people do say it's probably the best years of their life that did go.
100%.
But if I'd got the grades, I wouldn't have known what I wanted to do, i.e. whether it be engineering, business-related stuff, or science-related stuff. Yeah. So I would never have had an idea of what I wanted to do unless I got the grades.
Yeah.
But like I say, school was never really my priority, really, to be honest.
I think, it's definitely difficult. And I think I said it on another podcast, is that like teachers and parents and stuff are always asking or making you make a decision at say 16, 18 for like your future career, when really you don't have a fucking clue who you are. Never mind what you
still, when you're at school, you're still trying to figure out what you want to do with yourself.
What you want to do tonight.
Yeah.
Never mind in fucking 10 years.
And that's why I think nowadays, because everybody just wants to knock about with the pals nowadays, careers and stuff for like kids nowadays isn't a priority at all. Again, I don't think it's a case of we just go out and do our own thing. But again, social media for me is a part of that, because they see people do it on social media, so they want to do it themselves.
So then you started working at this apprenticeship and that kind of thing. So how long were you doing that, and how did that say like transition into say your job that you're doing now? And then we'll go into that kind of thing, and then after that we'll talk about like what was the spark of setting up. Of course.
So I did the apprenticeship for 4 years, and in my third year or 3.5 years into it, I applied for a job at a big factory in our town, Carlisle, called Crown, that makes beer tins for like all alcoholic drinks and energy drinks. And again, it was my uncle that used to fix the cars. He got a job there at Crown, and he was working there, and he told me all about it. He told me about the holidays, and you got a lot of time off and you got a lot of money for it. So in my third or final year of my apprenticeship, I applied for a job there, but I did get a letter off them to say, you won't be successful this time because you're still in an apprenticeship, which I thought was pretty good, because they're not going to take me out of an apprenticeship to then give me a job when I'm still getting paid to do it. I'm still learning. So they said, apply again the year after, and then we'll see we'll take it from there, see what happens. So once I applied again after my apprenticeship finished in my fourth year, the end of my fourth year, I applied again, got an interview, and then I got the step up, which in my eyes, it was a step up from what I was doing in the cars to where I'm at now, because it was more money, more time off, and it was a better job. So we then, my next steps were that would just carry on working in factory life. It was like going from Monday to Friday to shift work factory life, which was a bit of a change, because it's shift work, 12-hour shifts, 12-hour days, 2 days, 2 nights, but you got 4 days off after every 4 days you worked. But there was no kind of, how can I put it, from where you're going from days to nights, there was no kind of change around. You got 24 hours before you're back in on your night shift from your days to kind of catch up on your sleep. There was no in between hand. People say, "Oh, how do you manage your sleep and stuff like that?" It is hard, but you find a way.
Yeah.
But from going to the garage to the factory life was a huge kind of career change, really, for me.
Yeah, no, it definitely sounds it. So then you've been working there for a number of years now, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been there 10.5 years now.
Yeah, long time. And then, so what was kind of like the spark that made you like set up 24th Avenue? Because obviously you say you set it up, was it end of last year or was it the beginning of this year?
It was the beginning of last year.
But like it launched in March this year, wasn't it? Yeah.
So as it sounds mad because obviously business was never really my thing at school. Yeah. It was a case of, for me, business started to come later on. So like maybe when I was in maybe the 5th or 6th year there. So maybe 2016-ish, 17. I kind of started seeing things on Instagram that I was following, like clothing brands, Nike, Adidas, stuff like that. So then I was seeing more individual brands, like people who were started it themselves, not huge businesses. Yeah. For instance, people like me, just do it on their own. They do their own photo shoots, they buy their own stock, they have their own website, they don't have people doing it for them. So it's like, oh, when should I do it? So it was always on the back burner. And then I met my current girlfriend now, who she has a suit shop and a bridal shop. And then when the suit shop opened, that was when it really kicked me up the arse and said, right, you like suits, you like to wear clothes, you like fashion, you're pretty fashionable.
Yeah.
If you don't do it now, you're never going to do it. So I've looked at the suit shop and how she did the website and stuff like that. And I picked a lot of pieces out online for myself, just like different kind of, I can't think of the word now.
Items?
Yeah, different items, decent t-shirts, hoodies, pair of pants and stuff like that, to kind of see which ones were going to be the best kind of quality, the best fit before I decided on actually doing it.
Bit of market research.
Yeah, a bit of market research, it helps massively because you don't want to just jump in it and not have a clue where you're going.
Definitely.
But it was the suit shop that did it for me. Yeah. Because I'd seen how well it was set up. The shop's amazing. It's Goodfellows menswear if anybody wants to go and have a look.
Big shout out. Put the links and shit everywhere.
They're really good. They sell some really good suits and the shop's amazing. The shop is really well done. So once I'd seen that, I thought, right, if I don't do this now, I'm never going to do it. So then I bought stock online, maybe 4 or 5 different t-shirts, 4 or 5 different hoodies, same with joggers and stuff like that. Picked out the main ones that were the best quality and the best fitting, and then they were the ones that I went forward with. Then I created a website, and once we created the website, we then set up the Instagram page and the Facebook page, stuff like that.
So before we get into like that kind of stuff, what made you want to set up a clothing brand? You said you're into fashionable and stuff, but like you could have set up any business in the whole entire world. Like what made it specifically that you wanted to do it like menswear clothing?
It's going to sound mad, but people are going to have this exact same problem. I'm over 6 foot, so I'm trying to find pants.
How tall specifically?
About 6'3", 6'4". Probably go with 6'4", probably on a 6'4".
Yeah.
So it was a case of anytime I bought joggers, whether what brand it was, they would always be short. So when you wash them, they'd go even shorter. So it was like, well, you buy them, they're all right. You get the wearable, you wash them, and then they're still poor. They're still rubbish. So then you're like, well, I can't buy the same pair again because exactly the same thing's going to happen. So it was a case of, I'm a tall person, so I wanted to relate to people who are quite tall. Yeah. So if I thought if I can find joggers for tall people, but after you wash them, they still have a really good fit and they don't shrink. There's not too much material. Then I found a niche in the market, and which I did. I've got joggers. My joggers have had messages of people who have bought my joggers, who find them spot on, find them better than other like big brands. Which I know people might not think that, but they are. They buy them. There's 2 or 3 guys who messaged me about 6'4", 6'5", same height as me. Bought joggers, tried them on, loved them, washed them, tried them on, perfect. Still the same length. They're not shrunk in any way whatsoever. And like, it was the same with the t-shirts because I'm long-legged, but I'm tall-bodied as well. Yeah. So it was a case of try the same again with t-shirts. Do the same. Good length t-shirts. Once they're washed, they stay the shape. They keep the length, and then that was it. So I wanted to kind of cater for people who had height issues. We cater for people who are short, tall, and in between. Yeah. So we've got pants that will fit everyone, t-shirts that will fit everyone, hoodies that will fit everyone, and I'm very proud of what I've got and how we're going at the minute and how we're doing.
No, definitely. I think that's a really important thing. Is I don't know who said this, but it's something along the lines of you can create a business on anything you want. You just need to find a problem within your own life and then come up with a solution, which is a prime example.
People relate to that. People relate to that. If you, whether it's shoes, for instance, if you've got really big feet, I know it sounds mad, but if you buy shoes and you can't find shoes that fit you because your toes are always scrunched up, there's brands out there that sell extra big size 14, 15 shoes because people have that problem. Whether it doesn't matter what problem there is, there's always someone out there that needs something and they can relate to.
Yeah.
And there's always a solution for it.
I think, like if you've got a problem, there's surely someone else, at least one other person out there has got the same problem.
100%.
Yeah. And do you think that's the most important thing that you've found is like finding that niche and picking that niche, especially when starting out?
Yeah, 100%. Don't just do it for the sake of doing it. Find a niche in the market, whatever it may be, and then focus on that niche.
Yeah.
Create posts relatable to people, because then you will get messages of people like, you know what, mate, I've got that issue. How can I rectify it? What have you got that I can buy to rectify that issue? For example, joggers is a prime example.
Yeah.
You know, I'm tall. I can't find joggers or pants that fit me well at all. That was my niche. My niche was focus on people who are quite tall and give them something that they can relate to and that they can buy, that they have now got a solution for.
Yeah. I think, it's so important, because I feel like personally a lot of people just start a clothing brand because they think it's going to be really cool and like it's going to be easy and that type of thing. Yeah,
it's certainly, I mean, there's a lot of work into it. There's a lot of work goes into it. It's not just an overnight success. It has to be. I've heard somewhere, maybe I'm wrong on this fact, but about 80% of businesses fail in the first year.
Yeah, it's
because people think
more like 9 out of 10.
Yeah, people think that it's going to happen overnight. It doesn't. It really doesn't happen overnight. You've got to stay focused.
Yeah,
you've got to put the time in. You've got to put the effort in. Otherwise, if you don't, then it will fall on its ass, and you will not have a business to go back to.
Yeah, well, look at me, prime example. 2 of mine have failed. I'm on to my 3rd now.
So but this could be the 3rd one could be the best one that you've ever had.
Well, technically, to give the statistics, I've got another 5 to go before one works. So we'll see how this goes. So now, I'm on the right. Well, I think I'm on the right path anyway. But now it's good. But like, for me personally, I think it's so important to have a message behind something, even if it's just you're going to help people in X. So say for me, I help businesses grow, increase revenue through social media, digital marketing, that kind of thing. You are helping people find clothes that actually fit them when they have long legs or
the short and stocky. Some people have, it sounds really weird, but people have long legs but a really short torso. So then they're wearing t-shirts that are either really too small or way too big because they've got a short torso, whereas our garments will fit all sizes. You know, whether you are short and stocky or whether you're tall and slim or a bit more rounder, we've got you covered. We will have you covered, and we've got everything that you need. So
everyone fucking buy all this shit. So going back, because I feel like a lot of people will be interested in like how you actually like started. I know you said that it was the Greenfellas shop that kind of like put the spark into it, but like, what was the first thing you did to like either source the products, or was it like create the brand name or whatever? Do you maybe want to talk about what 24th Avenue means as a brand first before we talk about?
To me, it means helping people. Again, it just goes back to the whole helping people out who have got
That's good
problems.
though, you go back to it because
that is to me what it is. That 24th Avenue to me is wanting to help people who have got issues when it comes to buying clothes, and I will repeat it, we cater for everyone. You know, to me that is what my brand stands for. Some big brands stand for Adidas and Nike. We are Adidas and Nike,
but they're massive. Like
they are huge. Like I don't really think they have a niche in the market for anything. They might do. I mean, I've not really researched.
They've got their own niches within the brand, haven't they? Especially when you're starting out as well. I think you need to think small, and you need to penetrate like a niche market, and then when you grow bigger you can expand, isn't it? There's no point trying to go like 0 to 100 in 10 seconds. You need to go from 1 2 3 4 5 6
you can't
99
10 steps to where you want to be.
And I've made that mistake in the past, especially for events. Like I've tried to sell out like 1,000 people capacity events in cities I've never even been to before, and
events in Carlisle, and a lot of people turned up, and there was other times where people didn't. But then your Cardiff ones, you hit them like every single time. When I seen it on social media, they were hit perfectly. You had 500-600 people at them, even 1,000 people. I think I've seen at one point. Different marketing to different people is what kind of makes or breaks that situation, I think.
Yeah, the biggest flop for me was, I always talk about, I was in Leeds. I remember we'd never been to Leeds before, never put an event on. We put an event on the Thursday, the Easter Thursday. We had 3 events on the Friday, and then one on Swansea on the Sunday. So we had 5 events that weekend. But the weekend before, we were in Amsterdam Spring Break Festival. So leading up to like the biggest weekend we ever had, on the Thursday, we rocked up to Leeds and we saw like 200 tickets, and the venue told us that you get like 400 walk up. So we thought, oh, that's sound. You know what I mean? It's like an 800 capacity event. So we thought, all right, we'll get 600 people. That'll be sound. You know what I mean? Pumped like 5K into the event. Like the most money we'd ever put into an event up front. This is why I shouldn't do events, kids, because it's just a cash flow nightmare. And put that money up front, and then nobody turned up on the walk up. You only get 200 people pretty much in there, and lost like $3,500. So that's just because like I thought that I could do anything.
Yeah.
But the reality check is that you can't. Like, nobody gives a fuck, you know what I mean? You care about your thing more than anything in the world. You do anything for your project, brand, business, company, whatever. But you need to remember that nobody else cares, in like the most brutal way, honest.
They don't care because it's not relatable to them sometimes. Yeah. You know, it's only relatable to you because it's yours. Like my brand is relatable to me. People might think and look at it and like, yeah, I don't like it. I'm not interested. Why do I have to be? But if you give them something that they can relate to, then they're more likely to be like, they'll probably take an interest and be like, all right, I see. That's
people are selfish though, aren't they?
Yeah, 100%.
They only care about themselves. And if you can make it about them, then you're onto a winner.
Yeah. If you can make it about them, even though it's yours, yeah, you are right. They're onto a winner, and they will probably relate to you then and buy whatever you're selling or come to an event or whatever it is.
Yeah. Just be fucking relatable, people. You know what I mean? So, kind of went on another tangent, but tangents are cool. Let's talk about where you first started off. So, like, was it going for suppliers? Was it doing designs? Or
I researched stuff on, again, people on Instagram, and to see what they were doing and see what kind of pieces they had clothing wise, and then I had a notebook with ideas down, a few ideas for my logo. Asked a couple of people to design me a logo. They came back with the final logo that we've got now, and it was a case of finding the pieces was more of a Google search to see where suppliers or what suppliers could do for me. Yeah. So I'd Google research UK-based suppliers because all my things come from the UK. I won't go outside the UK. Yeah. Maybe in the future, but I think there's a lot of good UK-based suppliers out there who have got a lot of good stuff, and have, in my eyes, they're very reasonably priced as well. If you go abroad, you're probably going to pay import tax on a lot of stuff, so you're going to end up having to pay a lot more money for stuff that you maybe shouldn't need to in the UK.
That's interesting, yeah. And would you have to buy in bigger bulk if you go abroad as well?
Yeah, I think starting out? For the companies I use in the UK, you can buy 2 t-shirts if you want, and that's it. There's no qualms on how much you have to buy. Whereas, as far as I know, the companies that I've researched in, say, Portugal and Europe and maybe even China, there's a minimum order of 100 pieces.
Yeah. It's difficult when you're starting out. Yeah, to have that
I've made mistakes. We'll go into my mistakes in a bit, pretty soon. But for me, it was a case of find some UK-based suppliers. Yeah. Order a few examples, a few pieces, and then if I was happy with that, then we'll go back and email and say, right, look, I want to put a logo on them. Can you do me a logo, and how many can you make me minimum order wise? Minimum order, no minimum order, no maximum order. Order as many as you want. So I ordered however many, and then I got them sent to my house, and then started looking at them, checking them over, make sure they were all right, make sure the logo was good, make sure there was no tears, anything that was on miscolour or anything like that. And then we started with the social media side of things. Once I got everything that I wanted to, we then started social media.
Okay. So the way you did it was you kind of like sourced all the items, that kind of thing, tried them all out, got them that all sorted, and that's when you kind of went with the social media after that.
Because once you've done that, really, then you can start. There's no point doing a photo shoot without any pieces, because how are you going to take pictures of stuff you haven't got?
Very true.
So you've got to either buy, say, 3 t-shirts for yourself in different colours, 3 hoodies for yourself in different colours, and then joggers in different colours if you can get them. I could only get one colour of joggers at the time, and we are looking at bringing out some more black, well, hopefully some more colours that are either black and grey, hopefully.
Yeah, get some grey ones.
To be fair, mate, on like my social media, I've had a lot of people asking for grey joggers.
Yeah, grey joggers.
We've got a grey hoodie, and people say, do you do grey joggers? Do you do grey joggers? Even a lot of women.
I love the navy set. It's class.
The navy set is really good. It's a very popular set, but people love grey joggers. For some reason, I don't know what it is. People love grey joggers.
Yeah, it's because I think it's because like the social media thing, like girls like boys in grey joggers. Because like for me, I love the navy set, but like navy, like I wouldn't normally wear navy. Yeah, like I'd wear some like grey or black. Yeah, it's hard to match with. I think
some people's colour differences. Like I mean, I wear navy and white all the time because I think they suit my body tone, my colour. Whereas you're more of a grey and a black. It suits your colour tone. So I think it is trying to find the right colour tones. But going back to what we were doing with the photo shoot, so I ordered.
So yeah, you got the items. And did you start the social media? No, you'd have done the photo shoot next before social media.
Before social media, because you can't do. You need to do a photo shoot. You can't post anything without pictures. So that's when I did my first photo shoot for myself.
With yourself?
Yeah, just myself. Took over 100 photos with a photographer that's based in Carlisle. And then we started posting and kind of giving people rough dates of when stuff was going to come out. And then once we'd set on a final date, we would post every day leading up to that final date, whether it was a month in advance, 2 months in advance, or whatever. Maybe every other day or maybe 3 days, but like right up till maybe 3-4 days before, we were constantly posting on Instagram stories and Instagram posts themselves, and then Facebook stories as well, Facebook posts as well.
Yeah. So for you, obviously, we'll talk about the launch slightly separately. So would you do anything slightly different, say, coming up to the launch? Like looking back now than you did then?
Yeah, probably could post even more.
Yeah.
I could probably have maybe even more pieces to post, so then there's an even bigger range of things that people can look at and buy. But photo shoot wise, no, I don't think there's anything like that. But launched, as into the launch, I mean, it was probably just post more than anything else.
Yeah.
I think it was my downfall is
the power of social media.
Yeah, it is huge and it is massive. And if you use it correctly, you will find that you will get better in yourself and what you're trying to post. So social media, has a massive impact for me, but I was quite lazy with it, to be honest. Very lazy with it.
Yeah.
You know, I'd post maybe one thing and then maybe wouldn't post for like 5 days. You know, and maybe post 2 things 2 days consecutively and then maybe wouldn't post again for a week. It's just because I'd never done it before.
Yeah.
But I knew I had to be on top of it. It was hard because I needed to find the rhythm and I needed to find the consistency with it of posting. You know?
It is difficult, like 100%. And I think you've probably realised now, haven't you, like the power of social media.
Social media is massive, yeah. If I could go back and get someone... What I would probably do is, if I was starting from scratch, is get someone who was social media minded to do it for me.
Yeah.
I'll tell them how I wanted them to do it, but then they can... Or even to give them free reign and posting on Instagram, for instance, be like, right, I'm going to post your stuff. You get the pictures done. I'll post it for you with captions and whatever, hashtags, whatever, and I'll do it for you. Because that way, you've got someone whose sole purpose is promoting your brand for you. Even though you should do it yourself, and I have done it myself, I would probably get someone to either help me or do it for me. Yeah. Because they might be better at it than me, to be quite honest.
Well, that's the thing about building a team, isn't it? It's having experts in different areas, and they'll bring their own benefits. I
mean, there's a company I follow on Instagram, and I'm going to give them a shout out, called Arn Clothing.
Yeah,
they are huge. I've followed them for maybe 4 years now. I think they started in 2017, and they are now huge. They've got such a good following on Instagram. They've got such I'm wearing their shoes now actually. I'm their shorts. They've got such a huge team behind them now who brand building for them. They do a lot of stuff. They've got a huge following now, and they've got a good team behind them and now is where they are. That's where they are now. They're huge now. They're a really good brand, to be honest.
So you reckon leading up to the launch, you'd have just made sure you're more consistent on the social media posting.
Yeah, 100%.
And then coming to the launch, what were your kind of like expectations for the launch, and then what was kind of like the reality from it, do you reckon?
I'll be honest, I from the launch day I did expect quite a few things to be sold.
Yeah.
But we only probably sold maybe, I think in the first day we sold 3 items, I think. And then we never had anything for maybe about 4 days. Yeah. And then we had maybe 3 or 4 more like separate days where we had one a day, and then it went really quiet.
How did that make you feel on the launch day? Because for me, I'd imagine all that hype and that build up, and then
I was gutted. Yeah. I wasn't disappointed. I was gutted more than anything else, because you kind of, when you post and every day leading up to it, when I was saying I probably posted 5 or 6 days, maybe even 3 or 4 days right up to it with good captions, I thought, and I was promoting it really well, and then for it to not do well. But I mean, it depends how you look at it, because some people might think, well, that's quite a good launch, considering you've never done it before. It's brand new, and nobody knows who you are. And if you've had 3 sales in a day, that could be quite good for some people. Yeah, if you never got any, then I'll be thinking, right, what have I done wrong? Whereas once it had happened, my fiance said, she said, if you get like 3 people a day buying items for a week, you can maybe make £500-600 in a week. So don't be too disheartened. Just think positive and think that tomorrow might be 4 items sold, or it might be 2 items, or it might be 10. You just don't know. So I wasn't disappointed. I was more just gutted than anything else.
Yeah, I think that's such a important thing to say, because for me, I feel like the launch of anything is the easy part. Like, don't get me wrong, you obviously wanted to sell more items, wouldn't you? Which you always want to.
Once it's launched, it's gone then.
Yeah.
Like, the launch is done. You don't have to think about the launch and anything leading up to that. It's then being consistent with everything after that.
That's when the hard work comes.
That's when it starts.
And that's when I feel like people would give up. So say, for you, it wouldn't... Not you, this isn't anything to do with you personally, but it wouldn't come to surprise me if, say, people launched something and then it didn't go as well as they thought on the launch day, and they give up the next day because they thought, oh, fuck, this is shit, you know.
Or maybe give it a week and be like, right, I'll see what it's like in a week, and if it's not doing well, I'll just pay it off.
And do you really think that, like I said earlier, Nike and Adidas are where they are today in a day? No, in a week. No, it's taken like
40 years, whatever it is, 30 years,
whatever. It's the hard work, the behind the scenes stuff that people never see. That is the stuff that like projects people to the next level and makes them be successful. I mean, people always see like the end product or the post on Instagram, or whatever, but they don't see what goes into it. They don't see the photo shoot and all your hours going into sourcing the items.
Well, that's it. Like, the photo shoot was an hour long, because we've done 2 photo shoots with myself. That was the first one, and you and our other pal Luke. They did the second one.
People know Luke. He's a fucking coach.
People know Luke. Luke Laird. But it was like, behind the scenes on those, it was like outfit changes. You know, getting the right like outfits together. I mean, even though it's just a hoodie and t-shirt, it's like, right, well, this is what I want you to wear next. This is what I want you to wear afterwards. I had it all written down. That day we did the shoot with Luke, you and Luke, I'd forgot it. So trying to get it off the top of my head. I
kept saying, you fucking get a list.
I know, and I felt stupid, but then it was like, this is what is a business. It's like, you learn from next time. Now, next time if I do it, I'll have either an iPad, or I'll bring everything I need to have it there in front of me and be like, right, this is what I want you to wear next. Tick it off. Whereas if you don't have it and you're trying to do it there on the spot, it's a lot harder. And the behind the scenes stuff, like you've already said, people don't see it. People will realise exactly what it's like if they saw it. Yeah. Like, whoa, and
that's why people give up, though.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's a reality check.
Yeah, they realise that they've maybe bit off more than they can chew, and they're like, well, this is not for me. This is not what I want to do. But
yeah. It is mad, and I think that comes down to like people being exposed to a lot more things at a younger age, or just exposed to more things in general, and they see like the flash cars and the money and all that kind of shit, and they want that, and they just don't want to put the work in, basically. So like you said about the launch and stuff, and then after, so where would you say like 24th Avenue is at the moment then, with kind of like, would you say like end goals? So where you are now, and where do you see it, like, say, to the end of the year, would you say?
If I'm honest, where it's at now, it's in a good place now. It's just, I'll be honest, I've kind of gone lazy with it a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why do you feel like you go lazy sometimes?
I think because you don't see sales, you kind of get disheartened a little bit. So you think, well, why should I bother?
It's normal.
But it is normal. It is, yeah. Because
like for me, I don't sign a new client every day. You know what I mean? You've just got the power through. Just getting used to it.
You've just got to wake up the next day and be like, right, what can I do differently? What can I post today? What can I...
I think it's not even what you can do differently. I think it's just doing the same thing over and over again and trusting the process, because you've done it before. Like, you've sold an item and you know how to sell an item, and it's just doing that same thing over and over again and realising that you're not going to sell a new item every day at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, we had one day, about 2 weeks ago, I had 3 sales in one day.
This is class.
Because of my social media posts that I was doing on TikTok. Now,
talk about that slightly after, but say where you are now and where you want to be. And
but then where I'm at now, we are quiet. And I would like to think by the end of the year, by the time summer's gone and then autumn comes, by the end of the year, I would like to think we'll have reduced our stock significantly, with people, buying stuff for the winter times, the autumn times, hoodies, t-shirts, joggers, whatever. It's one of those, you can't, in hindsight, I would love to have started it. If I'd known what was last year was going to happen with last year with COVID and stuff, because I even said this to a few people, if I'd only known what last year was going to bring, I would have started it the year before. Yeah. But you don't know when it's going to happen. Like that year, that year in 2019, I was so close to actually starting it. Yeah. And it was only the end of, I'll be honest, it was October last year when I started buying samples to try before they then got my final samples, and like they're the ones I'm set on. So if I'd done it the year before, or even 2 years before, I would have probably been in a better situation one out, and last year would have helped massively, because I know brands that I follow again on Instagram, they've had 100% growth from last year. And I know it sounds bad, and I know people, it's a horrible time, but people couldn't go anywhere, so they were only buying joggers and t-shirts and hoodies. sit in the house with. In hindsight, if you could get away with it,
hindsight's always a great
thing, isn't it? It's always, if I'd done this or if I'd done that or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, yeah, I don't think, I know it will happen by the end of the year. We'll have brought out at least, I would like to think we'll bring out two more pieces, maybe with a different colour t-shirt or a different colour hoodie, or maybe something completely different, maybe shorts. I don't know, shorts aren't probably what people want for winter, but it always gives them it for the next year over the gym. So I know that the end of this year we will have sold a lot more and we will be in a better position. Not that we're in a bad position. We're in a good position.
You always want more.
It's just slow, isn't it? It just again, going back to it, you've never done it before. It's brand new. You're still trying to find your feet, whether it's a year, 2 years down the line. So it's just being consistent and staying with it.
I think it's not being hard on yourself as well. You know what I mean? So,
I'm hard on myself.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You said like you've been lazy for it, and you can't be motivated every single day.
No.
And if you are, you're lying because it's not true. You know
everyone has their own days. I mean, I've seen people that go 3 or 4 days and they are strict with whatever they're doing, whether it's the gym, whatever, and then they'll have a week off. It's like, well, what's different from them for the first 3 days to then having a week off?
It's not sustainable. Like you need to, whatever
You've
you do.
You've got to have time off from certain things.
In your daily life, in your daily routine, if it's in life or in business, you don't want to do everything that you possibly can do every single day because it's not sustainable. You'll do, you'll do it for like 3 days, you'll burn yourself out, you won't do it for a week or two because you're like, oh, this is shit, I hate it. But if you can set yourself manageable and attainable goals every single day, achieve them over and over again, Monday to Friday, and then you'll be closer to where you want to be. You know what I mean? Because you're doing that consistently. And I think I always say to you, don't I? I say consistency is the most important thing in the world. Like, that's just not in my opinion, that's just in everyone's opinion, because it is important. Because if you're doing this stuff every single day, especially these days in social media, and you're being seen, you've got the attention on you, like people know what you're doing and like what you're selling and who you are and what you're about and stuff. And that's, I think it's the most important thing you can do these days. Be consistent on social media or whatever you do. And if you're not, stop complaining like Wayne don't want to be, because that's the thing that annoys me is people who complain about the current situation and they're doing nothing about it. And then like, it's just like, you're complaining.
They expect someone to wipe their ass and do it for them.
Do you want someone to give you £1 million? You know what I mean? Do you want someone to give you like your dream job? Do you want someone to give you a 6-pack? No, you've got to fucking work for it.
Well, it's like what I said at the very start of this podcast, being determined. If you want it hard enough, you've got to put the effort in, you've got to put the time in and do it. If you don't expect people to do it for you, because they won't. If you're not willing to do it, why should they do it for you?
Yeah, you're not like... There might be some kids watching, but you're not a kid anymore, you know what I mean? Like, your mum and dad don't do everything for you. You need to fucking put yourself out there. So you reckon by the end of the year, you kind of be where you're at? Is that like, if you got like a specific like order number, do you want to hit a sale every day or anything in particular?
Yeah, I would like to think, hopefully from August, I mean, I'm really going to start pushing like sales and social media again because I've had a week on, 2 off. So from like next week,
you have COVID.
Yeah, I had COVID. So I was falling out my ass a little bit. But I think from next week, I will really start trying to push it again, because the weeks I was pushing it before I got COVID, we were seeing a lot of movement, a lot of like traffic coming in, a lot of sales. We had a few sales. So that was where it was important to hit the social media. And I had a week off. But once I start pushing the social media again, I like to think that maybe not, we probably won't get loads of sales. But if I got a sale every day or every, say, 4 days,
one every 4 days,
I'd be happy with that, because I know that what I'm doing is right, and I know that I'm hitting the people that I want to hit, and they're seeing it as a positive, like, oh, you know what, it's not, I like that. So as long as you're posting and you're consistent with it, then I would like to think.
I think that's a good point for people out there who want to start their own clothing brands. Is being realistic, you know what I mean? Like, I could have asked you there saying, oh, what, as I even said, do you want to do a sale a day? And you're like, to be honest, I'd be happy with a sale every 3-4 days.
Well, you've got to look at it. You've got to look at it like that, because again, it's not going to happen overnight. And all these people that think, oh, well, I've got a business, I'm going to be a millionaire by the time I'm
next
30 week. Or by the time next week. Yeah, it's not going to happen. You know, like, it'll only happen if you do it, if you push it, and if you try. If you don't try, you're never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Yeah,
because before you even answered about how many sales you wanted, you said, I need to get the social media in place and start doing that before you do that, which is great, because you recognise that you need to put the work in.
But how, the thing is, my question to you would be, how would you know what I'm selling if I don't post it?
Yeah, you don't.
Exactly. So you need to be,
unless you're going around knocking on doors.
Picture, I'll be like going around the local housing estates. Do you want to buy my clothes? Like,
you need to do something.
You've got to do something.
That, fair play.
Yeah, but the whole, again, it goes back to social media. It's massive, and that is where it kickstarts everyone.
Yeah.
You know?
What was the realization for you that social media was so powerful? Because I know, especially because we spoke a lot when you were launching and when you have, is that did you feel like it was going to be as powerful as it was? Did you really understand it? Because did you really use it personally before you had the business? Or
I used Instagram. Yeah, I've got my own personal Instagram, but it's for like stuff that I'm doing day to day. Because I'm not a big Facebook fan.
Yeah.
I've got Facebook because of my business, because I've got the Facebook page.
Yeah.
So I never post on Facebook, on my personal Facebook. I post on my personal Instagram because I think Instagram's a bit more private. You know, it's kind of a select audience.
Yeah.
But for me, no, I never really knew how big it was until I actually started using it, and I'd seen other brands posting, and then maybe go from like 2,500 followers to 8 to 9, and it was all because of their social media, like how powerful and what things were posting. Because people, again, can relate to it. I follow another company called Cali Clothing. They seen their Instagram page when they started off with 1,000. I think they're up to about 15,000 now.
Yeah.
All because of what they're posting. It's all. We keep repeating ourselves with the posting, but it is posting on social media is the thing now. It's never going away now.
Organic is powerful still.
Oh yeah.
So for you, you obviously started out with Instagram and Facebook because you thought they were like the normal and the kind of ways to do it. What made you start posting on TikTok, and what made that so like big for you?
Instagram's very selective, right? So I'll start with Instagram. Instagram's very selective. If people don't like what they see, they won't follow. You've got a good following because people relate to the stuff that you post, right? So TikTok for me was a case of seeing your TikTok, seeing the videos you were doing, seeing how many people could read in the comments, your relationships stuff. This is relatable. I was in a relationship, blah blah blah. So TikTok for me was like, right, what can I do on TikTok to promote my brand for people to then like it? Yeah. So I was making videos day to day about what I've got in store for people, how I go about stuff, how about selling it and stuff like that. Or I did a competition about the England game, for instance. Just, like relatable stuff for the football, for instance. It was a case of guess the correct score in the game, do a competition. People commented on it because they liked what they're seeing. They liked the fact that
people love free shit as well.
Well, people do love free shit, but TikTok is, how am I going to put it? People doing daft stuff, but getting the likes in the comments and getting the following because people like it. You could post a 5-minute or 5-second video of you, I don't know, flushing your head down the toilet, and people like it. It's just something daft. People, and it's not daft videos that I'm posting or even yours, but it's relatable. Again, it's relatable posting, and people are buying into it. Like your relationship stuff, it's all my brand stuff. I've got more followers on TikTok and likes on TikTok than I have on other social media platforms because the other ones are very more selective. People just like it and they don't even follow you, but they like it and they comment it just for the sake of it because they like what they see.
Because they're on there for a good time, aren't they? I know, especially for you, you didn't have a personal TikTok account. So like, how did you find it, like starting to post videos? Did you find it like daunting? Was it difficult?
Oh, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I was shitting myself.
Oh, yeah?
Because I'd never done stuff like that before. Like I've come out of my comfort zone since I had my TikTok page. Like doing this podcast now, maybe last year would have been very, very scary for me because I'm confident, but I'm not confident in like letting other people see it on social media kind of stuff. Yeah. Because I've never done it before. Again, I've never done it before, but because I then started doing TikTok and I just started not caring about what other people thought, which is massive, by the way. Yeah. Just do it. Like just do it, and then I've got the confidence more and more and more to then say, right, look, I'll post more videos, I'll do silly things, whatever, I'll do this podcast because I've got the confidence to do it. So I did find it daunting at first because I was like, well, what kind of reaction am I going to get? People are going to think this is weird. People are going to think it's strange. Why is he doing this? He's, a 30-year-old lad doing TikTok videos. It's maybe not what people want to see. It's maybe just like, it's a younger generation kind of thing, to be honest.
So like, just on that same like point of not caring what like people think, what kind of like reaction did you expect to get when you post? Because I know you posted a couple that were like stock kind of photos first of the clothes, but what was kind of like reaction you were expecting to get from the first one you put of like your face and like your body on it?
A reaction of like, wow, what is he doing type of thing.
Off who?
Off just everyone.
Who do you mean by everyone?
Well, all people who follow it, like probably guys, for instance, because I'm trying to focus, because it's a menswear brand, I'm trying to focus on what men want to see. Like, clothes wise. So posting a video of me wearing it and then like posting it and their reaction be like, I don't know about that. Oh, what's he doing that for? What's he wearing that for?
What were you scared of specifically though?
Probably getting some bad comments off people, but like,
What comments on social media?
Yeah.
From random people you
just
never met
random
before.
people like, mate, what are you doing? Or like, that shit. Why are you doing that? You look weird.
This is so funny, right? Because he's exactly as he said what the point is. He was too scared to post stuff because he cared about what random people that he's never met would say. Like, that's a prime example why you should post, you know what I mean? Like, if people are commenting hate or random stuff on your posts, they've never met you before, you need to realise that they've got nothing better going on in their life. They've got nothing better to do with their day and their time. They're taking time out of their day to comment hate on your post. You should feel privileged.
How can I go about this, right? So I'm quite sarcastic sometimes when I speak to people, right? Or I'm a bit cheeky, let's put it that way, right?
It's good to be self-aware, though.
So when I posted stuff on TikTok and people commenting stuff, I was so close to commenting back, like, sarcastic stuff.
Yeah.
But then, like, my fiance said, nah, don't give in to them because they just want an argument and that. So I thought I never did it. And then there was another video I posted. I can't remember which one it was now. But you messaged me privately and said, mate, you need to reply to these comments. I replied to them comments, that all the bad ones. The views and the likes went up straight away because it's because you're interacting with people, so they see the comments.
It's human.
Oh, it is. And I'm not joking.
I know what I'm talking about, people. Some of
the sarcastic comments people would write, and I'm like coming back with some of the stuff that I thought was brilliant. But I then at that point was like, right, why are you bothered what people say?
100%.
They've got nothing better to do with the time just to sit and be keyboard warriors because they're never going to say it to your face.
No.
So I'll just say something back to them.
Do you think that was a turning point when it realised?
Kind of,
yeah. One of the moments it was just like, oh fuck yeah. Because I think sometimes, and probably on a few of your comments, like people when you reply to them, they're like, oh, your clothes.
Why has he replied? Oh, he's actually replied.
Yeah, your clothes are actually sound, or they like to be sounded. They're like, he's actually replied. I need to be nice now.
Yeah, they don't. I think they kind of shit themselves, like, oh shit, he's replied. Like, but then they don't reply back.
Yeah.
So they reply. They put a comment, and you reply to them, but then they don't come back.
You just scare them
because they're either scared of what you're going to say next, or the fact that they know they've done wrong.
Yeah.
So like they've
Kill
got nothing to come back with.
Well,
yeah.
isn't it?
Oh, I was never angry. I was never nasty or anything. It was all. It was all genuinely just sarcastic comments.
And it's better to be yourself when you're replying to them comments. Like you say, you're quite a sarcastic, like witty kind of guy. So be like that. If you're not, if you got more like a dry sense of humor, have a dry sense of humor because that's going to be your brand. You know what I mean?
But again, it gets you the traffic. It gets you the engagement that you need on social media because people are seeing it. So then you put your video out there again for another 15 seconds on the main page because more people are commenting on it and liking it because, oh, this is a good video, we'll put it back out there again, and then you get more views, you get more likes, you get more comments. So TikTok for me has been massive. It's been huge. It's definitely the best way to go about posting for my brand anyway. So
I'd recommend it forward.
Yeah, for me, TikTok's the best way to go about stuff now. I will post on Instagram and Facebook, and I haven't done for a while, which
you want to stay consistent.
I probably should have, but
you want to stay consistent. Use it as like social proof. You know what I mean? Some like brands I'm working with, say for example, especially Facebook, because Facebook reach is quite shit at the moment. So we'll use that as like social proof. So post on there like 3 times a week just to see it active, because you want to post on there still because you want people to think that you care about the brand. You still put out there, you're still open, you're still active, you're still selling clothes, you're still doing whatever you are doing, just so when they come on they see, oh, they posted like 2 days ago, or they posted today, whatever, because you don't want to leave it dormant because that's a stress,
because it doesn't get any engagement. And so when you do post, people are like, all right, I'm not interested because it's the first post you posted in 2 months. No, people aren't interested in stuff that you haven't posted in about a while.
So you could quite a lot, I reckon. But the thing that I want to ask you before we move on to like a next segment would be like, what do you reckon like the biggest lesson or lessons you've learned from maybe when you first starting the clothes brand out from an idea to like having it now? Was there anything that you thought was like completely different, and like the biggest mistakes probably going to be?
So the biggest mistakes for me, one of them definitely is I bought way too much stock.
Why do you think you bought way too much stock at the time?
I thought if I had if I had a lot of stock, then it would sell.
Yeah.
So then I wouldn't have to order more stock. If I'd only bought, say, like 10 items of each, and then I'm gonna have to order, and I might have to wait a month or two before I get more stock. So if I bought more stock and a lot of stock, at least I've got it. So then if it's starting to do well, I've always still got enough to sell. Whereas that hit quite big on the paycheck, on like the pockets. Like, I mean, that was quite a lot of money that we forked out for that. Don't regret it, because you can't have regrets. But if I did it again, I wouldn't buy as much, because it is cost effective. It's quite cost effective, you know. So
you'd probably say like start off small and build it up kind of thing.
Buy maybe probably buy 10 or 20 pieces. Yeah. So 10 t-shirts of 4 different colours instead of like buying 70 of 3 different colours. So you've got 70 black, 70 white, 70 grey or whatever. Yeah. Don't buy that because it's going to end up, if you're not doing well, it's going to just sit in boxes eventually.
I'd imagine it would get to your head as well, won't it? Like
because you've got to sell it because you think, oh shit, I need to sell it because if I don't sell it, how am I going to make money to buy more stock of other stuff? Like, you can only buy stuff by selling stuff. You've got to make money, spend money to make money.
Yeah, 100%.
And if you've spent all your capital before you've even got anywhere, you can't then go out and buy something else to sell more stuff.
Because you'd have probably been better off, like you're saying, is not spending as much on the stock then, and then getting somebody to manage your social media.
I could have said to someone, right, he's X amount of week doing my social media. Then I could have probably been buying 3 or 4 different pieces to bring out over a month instead of having nothing else to bring out.
So people, I've learned my lesson. Johnny's learned his lesson. Start small and then build
start small. Build it up.
Build it up small. Don't get ahead of yourself,
because
all it results in is losing money or having money sat in stock or be losing loads of money at events. And stuff.
If you've got a good relationship with, like, try and build relationships with maybe suppliers that can. So say, for instance, because I would like to try and do this in the future, if I could find a supplier that I could do this with, try and build a friendly enough relationship with them that they can say, right, if you order, say, 50 of this whatever, then once you're ready, just give us an email and say, right, you're running low on this, you need another by such and such. Then they can say, right, they can send you that by X date. Because if you're then having to buy it yourself and get it yourself, if you've got a separate embroidery company that embroiders your t-shirts, joggers, they might not have the time to do it, so then you could be pushed back in further. You might run out of, say, joggers on a Wednesday. Say to the company, right, I need a load of joggers sent to me for this date. Right, that's fine, we can send them out. The embroidery company might say, well, you can't get them for X amount, so you need to try and build good relationships, I think, so that you can kind of be on top of it. So that if you are running low, you could say to you, right, I'm getting these back in such and such, can you fit these in for me to then sell for 3 weeks down the line? That's the kind of way I would like to do it, kind of have steps, I was calling them as such, doing it all in one go. I mean, I bought everything in one go. Luckily, I had a good embroidery company that I use. They managed to get everything ready for me, and then I've still got the stock now. So, but they might, because now everywhere's back open again and COVID's kind of relaxed, businesses starting to get busy again, so they might not be able to fit me in next time. So if you kind of plan ahead, planning ahead is huge. I've seen people on TikTok who don't plan ahead and do plan ahead, and they get new stock ready to go. And some people are having to say, right, we can't, our new stock won't come for another month because we've had problems with delivery, or we've had delivery from embroidery problems or anything like that. So try and be like, try and plan ahead with stuff as well.
Be organised.
Be organised.
I was going to say, like, what's the biggest lesson, but that's probably what the biggest lesson is, to be fair. So then we want to transition it and make it relatable to relationships and stuff, because that's my kind of crack, you know what I mean? So for you, I know you've got a fiance. So how has she, like, had an impact? Has she helped you? Has it put stress on a relationship? Or, like, what has it been like? Because me being single, being self-employed, etc., I make my own decisions, and, like, it doesn't affect anyone else. So, like, for you, how has it affected your relationship?
I'll be honest, it hasn't. It's been really good. If anything, she's pushed me to do it more. Because she has her own bridal shop and her own suit shop, she's pushed me to want to do it, and that's pushed me to want to succeed, because she's given me advice. She's said, right, do this for your website, or post this on your social media, or do this. So she's been really, really good, to be fair. It's not been a stress for either of us, to be honest.
That's really good.
We've not fought about it. We've not argued about it. If anything, she's just helped me and pushed me along the way, because she knows it's mine. She's letting me kind of get on with it, so then I can learn from my mistakes. And if I do need to ask her anything, because she's done it before with the suit shop, the bridal shop, whereas it's different because she owns a shop, whereas mine's all online based. So I don't know what it's like to sell in the shop, but she knows what it's like to do it online, because she's got a website as well. So she's done both customer face-to-face business and online business. So she's kind of given me a lot of tips. But as far as fighting and arguing about it, nothing at all. I will. That has been the case. We've not argued about it one bit.
That's really good.
We've just pushed on, and we've got ourselves involved with it.
Do you think it's had a positive impact and benefited you that she has got her own thing going on?
Yeah, because I would like to think that this is mine, so she can't tell me. She can give me advice, and I appreciate that. But I would like to think she wouldn't be like, right now, you're doing this all wrong. Start again, scrap it away, because it's not hers. She's done her own thing. This is my own thing. So I would ask advice and tips on maybe websites.
Take on board whatever you want and disregard what you want as well.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, you have to have your own separate. She's got her own business, and I've got mine.
Yeah.
So you've got to keep them separate sometimes, because then I think that's where arguments start, because she could say, oh, well, I don't do it like this on mine. Yeah, but that works for you. It might not work for me. Yeah. So there's got to be kind of...
Yeah, because there's so many similarities in different businesses, but they're so different at the same time. I think that's really good that she's been so supportive, because I can imagine if, say, you had a partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, and they didn't have their own thing going on, it could be difficult for them to understand of why you're so, like, say, determined in doing it and spending so much time doing it.
You know, I don't know the first thing about a suit. I know how to wear a suit, and I look good in a suit.
Yeah.
All right. But, like, she obviously measures guys so they can get the right size and suit. Yeah. Whereas I can't do that because I've never done it before. So I wouldn't tell her how to do that. Yeah. And she won't tell me how to sell a t-shirt or a pair of joggers because she's never done that before. Yeah. She sells a suit. So if people want to buy a suit, she measures them. Right, try this on. There you go. We can order that. And that's it. Done. Yeah. But there is similarities in it. The fact that she still has to sell the right size, and I have to sell the right size.
Yeah. I think as well, like you were saying, it's good that she gets it, because I can imagine, say, if she didn't get it and say she just, I don't know, didn't have her own business and her own thing going on, then she might be like, if you're having, say, like a down day, you're like, oh, that's shit, you're doing that wrong, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. Whereas she kind of understands that there are going to be peaks and troughs, and you, as long as you're on the right path, she's giving you relevant advice. It's sound, isn't it?
Oh, so yeah, 100%.
Definitely lucky in that sense, I think.
100% I am. Very lucky.
So moving on to the final section here, we've had some relationship advice coming in. So we do this at the end of every single podcast. It's all anonymous, so if you've got any anonymous advice that you want me and the guest, well, Jonny today, to answer, just fucking message in, you know what I mean? Because we give the soundest advice out there. You're the biggest, best relatable TikToker in the whole world. I've just been unbanned from my account today. I was banned for a few days.
What were we banned for? Did you care to elaborate or not?
I'll show you the video after, but basically it was like, where should you touch a girl before you kiss them or something like that? Right. And it was like on the thigh, under the t-shirt, and something else, and it said like adult nudity in that, and I was banned for maybe like 3 days. I was like, this is not
nudity,
adult nudity. Have you seen half the stuff on TikTok? But my account's really, really sensitive. I think it might be because it's like slightly larger, so it gets flagged a bit sooner. But yeah, so the way we kind of work it is you'll think of an anonymous name for either the boy or girl who's messaged in, and then ask you the question, and then you'll kind of give them the advice that you think's best. And I will kind of like jump in where we can. So the first one is boy. So what do you want this boy's name to be?
We'll call him Derek.
Derek. So Big Derek has messaged in.
Hello, Derek.
He's saying, my girlfriend isn't consistent with her communication. Sometimes she opens up to me and sometimes she doesn't say anything. How do I make this work?
Give her time, really. Don't push it, because the more you push it, she's probably then going to not tell you anything at all.
Oh, so you reckon if he's a bit pushy, Derek might push her away?
Yeah. Okay. So just kind of just say, look, is there anything you want to talk about, or is there any problems you've got, or any issues or anything like that? But if you're constantly at them, I would say they're going to get kind of agitated about it. So then they'll probably say, well, I'm not going to tell you anything because if you keep pushing at me, you kind of just be nosy. Maybe sometimes, I don't know.
Do you reckon Derek's just like maybe just? Derek might be a bit pushy. He might be saying like to his girlfriend, go on, are you going to buy me a 24th Avenue hoodie for my birthday or what? Do you reckon that's a bit too pushy or?
No, I suppose that's fair because they are good quality hoodies, so please buy them.
6'3" as well.
Please buy him one. Please buy him one. Derek, just tell her, come on, say, get me a t-shirt or a hoodie right now because I want one. But I suppose if it's like, if she's had a down day and she doesn't want to talk about stuff, then the communication should be kind of not pushed in my eyes. If she wants to tell you about it, then...
Isn't it again? We're going back to this constantly.
It's hard, but...
Little and often.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't push it, Derek.
Don't push it, yeah.
Right, so we got a girl next. What are we calling her?
Susie.
Susie. So Susie feels like her partner isn't his genuine self around her. It feels like he's a different person around his friends than he is with her. This is an interesting one. This is a juicy one. Like,
yeah, did we not kind of talk about this at the front, like being different or people's perception of you to actually what you really are, type of thing?
Yeah. So I feel like Susie's kind of like saying that maybe you've got like two kind of different personalities.
Maybe got the idiot with his pals that wants to fit in with all his pals, and he's got that sweet, kind-natured guy that is with her when they're at home, and
Do you reckon?
he's lovey-dovey around her, and come here, darling, give us a cuddle, give us a kiss, where he's around his pals, and he's like, nah, fuck off, I don't want nothing to do with you today.
How does Susie deal with this then?
Call him out and just say,
Do you reckon just call him out?
just say, right, look, don't, like, why act like that with me at home in private and then be like that with your pals? Don't be different, because I don't like that side. He might be a total dick. He might treat her like shit, might just not even speak to her when they're out with the pals, especially if they're in couples and he's like the same as he is at home, nice, kind, then great. But if you're out and there's only a couple of the girlfriends there and the rest of the pals, but he's like acting the big man, just call him out and say, why are you acting like this when I'm here, when you're with the boys? If you don't want to be like this, just don't invite me then, especially if you've invited her.
Yeah.
It
is a big one though, isn't it? I think. Like, Susie, just fucking bite the bullet and just
tell him he's a dick.
him out.
Say, don't be a dick when you're with your pals and I'm there, because I don't like it.
Yeah. I think, Susie, you need to finish it ASAP, don't you,
fuck
really?
him off.
Fuck him off, right. Last one. Okay, so this is another girl. What are we calling her?
We'll call her Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Big Elizabeth. Elizabeth II, like the Queen and that?
Nah, Elizabeth the First.
Elizabeth the First.
She was
Fucking hell.
Raj.
She's still hanging about, is she?
I think so, I don't know.
Why are you messaging in this podcast? Fucking hell. So basically, Elizabeth I is saying that her boyfriend never invites her out to hang out with his friends. This is kind of similar to the last one, isn't it?
It is,
it's
yeah.
along the same lines.
Along the same lines, yeah, but I have no issue with my girlfriend coming with me to meet my pals.
Yeah.
Because she gets on with everyone.
Yeah.
Now, what is the reason? Like, there has to be a reason why he doesn't want to invite. I mean, is he such a massive knob that...
Elizabeth's the first boyfriend. What is the reasons? Like,
we need more information on this. I think we need more information, because this is quite hard to determine.
That's the thing. We feel like they never give enough information on this podcast.
Why is he not... Like, there has to be a reason why he's not introducing her to his pals. Has she done things with one of his pals that he knows about and she doesn't know? Maybe we don't know.
We're getting deep here, aren't we?
We don't know. So we need. I think we need more information. This could be something that we do on the
follow-up.
This could be a follow up. I could come back next week and we get her on the line. Get a phone call in.
Yeah, start saying
Liz, if you're ready, get a phone call in and we'll do this live.
So, what advice can we give her right now? Because we need to give her something. We haven't really given her anything, have we?
No, we haven't. But I'll just ask her. Just genuinely ask. Just ask her. Just ask him and say, look, why are you not inviting me?
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't want you there, if there's a reason, then he should be able to tell you. Because at the end of the day, you are going out, you are partners, you are together. You've got to communicate. And if he won't tell you, well, then it's obviously a red flag. There's something there that he really doesn't see you being invited to see his friends with.
And if you don't like confrontation, you've just got to do it, haven't you?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like confrontation, but there comes a point where you have to call someone out on what they're doing, because you need to know where you stand.
You're going to be miserable in the long run, aren't you, if you don't?
Yeah.
But yeah, right, I was going to do the 3 for today. I think that was quite good. I'm going to wrap it up here. We've been going, this is the longest one we've ever done, you know.
Oh, wow.
So,
get me back.
An hour and 20 minutes. We've covered quite a lot today.
We have, and I've enjoyed it.
We've enjoyed it.
I think people need to know information on stuff.
I definitely think like you've covered like what it's like starting a clothing brand and the realities and how much hard work you have to put in.
Yeah.
And being realistic is key as well, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone, thank you very much for watching, listening, tuning in, subscribing. Like, comment,
much.
subscribe, all that kind of fun stuff. Comment any guests you want to have on, and I will see you in the next one. That's
if you want me
Chatzzz with Adam
back,
Roberts.
please.
Just do a plug. Tell me where you can buy your shit.
24thavenue.com is our website. Our TikTok page is 24th Avenue Clothing. Sorry, our website is 24thavenueclothing.com.
You're fucking up your own plug.
I know.
Here.
I think
start again.
Right. So we're on 24thavenueclothing.com is our website, and you'll find everything on there. We have a TikTok page, which is 24th Avenue Clothing. Instagram, 24th Avenue Clothing. And same for the Facebook page as well. Check it out.
So basically, 24th Avenue Clothing, fucking everywhere.
Yeah, just search it and you'll find it.
Right. Thank you very much. Bye.